So today I have a PlayStation 4 Slim, and this one does not connect to the controllers. So we're gonna get right on that, but first tell me in the comments if you think I can fix it. It's been a while since I've opened one of these up, so bear with me. This is kinda dusty. Before I continue any further, I'm gonna power on the PS4 and run some tests. So I've plugged the PS4 in, and I'm gonna try to power it on now. We got a pulsing blue light, and I'm expecting it to turn white soon. So the PS4's LED is now white, which means it has powered on. And now we're gonna plug it into the display. Right, so it's asking me to connect the DualShock 4. So I'm pressing the PlayStation button, and nothing's happening. So this is actually the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antenna component, and this is probably the faulty component. So I'm gonna try applying some pressure and repeating the instructions again. Seems like nothing is happening even with pressure. Right, so I'm gonna heat up the antenna a little bit and see if it changes. This probably doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna try anyway. Nope, there's no difference at all. So I actually do have a replacement for this antenna, and I'm gonna give it a try. So this is the replacement component. Let me just check the serial numbers. They might be the same. So the old one reads J20H091, and the new one reads, God damn it, I'm too old for this, J20H091. So this part I've actually already reballed as soon as I bought it, so I won't be reballing it on this video. So what we have to do now is to take out the motherboard, and then we have to desolder this piece and resolder a new one on. So every time I see the PS4 Slim motherboard, I'm actually very impressed, because it is so small. So now that we have the motherboard out, we are ready to replace the module. But first, a word about the sponsor of this video. PCBWay.com specializes in custom PCB manufacturing and rapid PCB prototyping. They also offer other CNC manufacturing services like CNC machining and 3D printing. With PCBWay.com, you can build an entire electronics project from start to finish. You don't have to be an expert. You can pick anything from the shared projects category and get it made for you. And even if you don't know how to solder, you can find practice boards. Click on the link in the video description and sign up today for a $5 welcome bonus. Now back to the video. This is a Hakko Omnivice. It's basically a vertical bias is only supported by its weight. This is very useful for working on large PCBs, but it's crazy expensive in Europe. I have two of them. It's basically 100 euros a pop. So these are 200 euros for like a weight with a screw. This is a very large chip, so for now I'm not gonna use the microscope. I'm gonna mark some fiducials around it. This is going to help me reposition it. Then I'm gonna place some shielding tape. This is aluminum tape, and I'm going to protect this connector here. I'm also going to pinch it on the board so it doesn't move too much. So I've applied some flux because I need to flatten these pads. But to do that, I'm gonna have to apply leaded solder and then flatten the leaded solder. And that's because that type of solder melts easier than the one that's on the board. So apparently, there's already had fiducials on the board and I just hadn't seen them. They are underneath the chip, so if I just align it like this and start heating it up, it should ideally solder in place. However, there is something to keep in mind, and that is that here we do not have a solder ball, and here we do not have a solder ball. So the chip is supposed to be soldered like this. And we have to respect this, otherwise nobody knows what's going to happen. So this is actually my first time soldering a BGA, and apparently when you align them, the balls from the chip are going to align to the balls on the board, and it's going to do something where the chip is going to want to stay in place. I'm going to see if I can replicate the same behavior here, but I don't think I am. Maybe I didn't flatten the pads well enough. Yeah, there is definitely something going on here. Seems like the pads are now very flat. Let's give this another go. I'm gonna align it, then I'm gonna push down and wiggle it, and it actually doesn't move. It moves the entire board with it, but the chip doesn't move, so it's true. And instead, if I move it and I try to do the same, it moves. So yeah, it is true what they say. The balls under the chip are leaded solder, and I'm going to apply some flux here to help the chip solder itself. I'm going to spread it. We do not want too much flux because it can boil under the chip. It's going to make it fall out of alignment. Hopefully this is not too much. I don't think we get many attempts at doing this because the chip is going to get cooked. Yeah, this should work. I'm going to press it down with my tweezers. And then we're going to start the process. There we go. You see it move? So yeah. If we were fast enough, this should be the repair completed. It actually took considerably less time than actually desoldering it because of the leaded solder. Now all we have to do is reassemble this. But first, we're going to apply new thermal paste. La quantità perfetta di pasta termica. Now it's the moment of truth, and we're gonna see if it blows up. I have a feeling that it's going to explode, so we'll see what happens, but I'm going to look back while I plug it in. Right, it hasn't exploded and it's plugged in. So as you can see, the PlayStation is powering on. It should give me the setup screen soon. Here we go. It has powered on. So I'm gonna plug the controller in and follow the instructions. So plug it in, press the PlayStation button, and it works. So if you guys found this video interesting, you will probably like these other two videos. Right, so thanks for watching, and I hope you're happy.